Caught up with Jonathan Cornell here at US 36 Raceway. We're in a little bit of a rain delay. Jonathan, sounds like you're on a streak here right now, 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, you know, we have been. Actually, all year long, we've just been really fast. Got a lot of good hope this year, and our sponsors kind of been sticking by our sides too. And nothing new, really. Like I've mentioned before, it's just the same stuff we had for a couple years, but it seems to be working. And hopefully tonight we can kind of show off a little bit too.
Is this one of your favorite tracks up here? I mean, this is pure speed up here. In my book, it is, because, man, high banks, you really get with it up here, don't you?
Oh, yeah. You know, it's a really fun track. It's a real aggressive track, but we've had really good runs here, and we've had nights where we came in on a tow truck, too. So, you know, there's a little bit of mixed emotions, I think, with this track, but we kind of got to figure. We've raced here quite a bit. We kind of know what the track's capable of doing, so we usually make our judgment calls and make the car a little bit better for these track conditions.
I'm going to think back here a little bit, and I hope I'm right, because I got an old brain, so I'm not always correct. But you ran with the national tour down there at Valley. Was it 5th you came in?
I think it was 6th. We were a high point guy, and we ended up drawing 8 in the redraw, which kind of seems to be a trend this year for us is draw bad, but we got up to 3rd and got a little mess with one of the local cars there. He spun us out. We kept it going, but you know, still running 6th with those guys is a huge accomplishment for us. You know, we really don't have the budget like those guys do, and for them to come here and us being able to run with them or even possibly winning with them is just, it's awesome. You know, it's a great feeling to have.
I was going to say, that's got to really have your hopes up, or like you say, expectations or whatever, to go out and run with them, because, man, like you say, several of those guys are running on some pretty heavy budgets there compared to what most of the local guys.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of guys out there too that, you know, have some real tight budgets like ourselves, and they're running real strong with them. But it just kind of shows you how racing has become more and more difficult to win. You know what I mean? It's just getting tougher and tougher every year, no matter what your budget is or who you are or who you're driving for. It just seems like anywhere you go, you really have to have your A game on, otherwise you're not going to run the top 3.
Yeah. Once again, leading the points for the Warrior division, Jonathan Cornell. Jonathan, I just hope we can get it in tonight, man. I can hardly wait to see you get out there and get with it.
Oh, yeah. You know, if you keep walking through the pits, all the drivers have their phone out looking at the radar. So yeah, I think it's going to clear out, but then as soon as I say that, something else pops in. But all we can do is keep our fingers crossed.
Thanks a lot, Jonathan. Have some fun tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Caught up with Jack Dover, and Jack, you're running that Midwest division up there out of Omaha, I presume. So how's things going up there for you this year? Like I say, we were talking a little bit. Don't sound like you're too concerned about points.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier before we started doing this interview, I haven't looked at the points at all this year. I don't even know where I am, but it's probably not looking very pretty because I haven't had any luck this year. I destroyed a car about 3 weeks ago up at I-80 running the Midwest show, the national show. And there before that, I was running the national tour, so we missed a couple Midwest shows before that. And I pulled off the national tour after that bad accident, and now we're just going to run wherever we want.
Yeah. I was going to say, man, that takes all the pressure off, though, don't it? I mean, you know, you can kind of fly in wherever you want to and unload this baby and go after it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I told my sponsors and my parents. I said, this national deal is fun, but it ain't that fun. I had a lot of fun last year running wherever and trying to chase the money, and that's what we're going to do the rest of the year this year, and then we're going to regroup this winter and try to get a new trailer, a new truck, and just get our team going a little better, and we're going to try to hit that national tour next year.
You know, back in the early days of sprint car racing, that's what them outlaws did, man. They went in and tried to pick off the money from wherever it was. So maybe you're a natural-born outlaw and just don't know it.
You can't call me an outlaw yet. I'm not that old, but no, like you said, I mean, it's fun going wherever you want, and it also makes it a lot easier on you too, because you ain't worried about points, and it just makes it fun for everybody that helps on the car. And you can, like my guys asked me where we're going next week. I said I don't know. We'll decide. We'll decide a couple of days before the weekend, then we'll just go there. Yeah. So it's just it's one of those deals where it's not stressful or anything. It's just go wherever you want.
One other question I've got to ask you about. I know you switched over to the Rouse engines this year. You know, we're pretty, I'd say, a third into the season at least. We've got to be that far. What are you thinking so far about the Rouse deal?
All these Rouse Yates, they're the next up and coming. I mean, I see a lot more of these things getting sold here in the next couple of years, and they're going to be the newest thing out there, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of them. I mean, we're still struggling on a couple parts, but like I told somebody earlier this week, the guys are going to the shop at 8 o'clock, and in the morning, and then they don't leave there till 9 or 10 at night. I mean, so they're really dedicated to the sport and the sprint cars, and they're working their butts off to try to make these things even run harder than what they do already. And just the support there is amazing. And these Roush 8s wouldn't be nothing without the Eagle chassis. I got to thank them a lot. They've helped me a lot this year. I destroyed a car 3 weeks ago, like I said, and they're already talking to me about building another one and getting it going. So if it wasn't for Roush 8s and Eagle chassis and certified transmission and Home Pride roofing, Langfeld overhead doors, just everybody that helps me this year, if it wasn't for any of them, none of this would be possible.
Once again, Jack Dover, I think we better keep an eye on him tonight. If I remember right, you've had some good runs here at 36, so watch out for this guy. Thanks a lot, Jack. Stu Snyder, the points leader for the Midwest ASCS division. Stu must be doing pretty good so far this year.
Yeah, we haven't got any races won yet, but we've been really consistent, trying to keep the consistency deal going. We did that last year and ended up picking up the Eagle Raceway Points Championship up in Eagle, Nebraska, and looking to do it again. Decided we wanted to go out on the road, and ASCS is a great group of guys to run with, so looking forward to the rest of the season with them.
I was going to say, man, you win the points championship Eagle, that's nothing to sneeze at there. I mean, that's some tough racing up there here in Kansas City where we're out of. We've been having some stuff on Time Warner Cable from up there and been seeing some great races. But like I say, man, that's something to talk about right there, let alone ASCS.
Yeah, it was definitely a great accomplishment. My car owners, Eldon and Paula Roden, have owned sprint cars for the better sum of 50-some years, and they'd never had a points championship. So it was a great deal to be able to add our names to the likes of John Gerloff and you know, Lloyd Beckman, all those guys, Keith Haichu, and
I've heard that.
it was definitely cool to be able to say that we won them a points title, and that I got my first one driving for them. So it was pretty sweet.
And I presume you enjoy this traveling with the ASCS. Come down for this race. Evidently, must not be anything going on with the Midwest tonight.
Well, actually, this show here tonight is an ASCS Midwest Points show. And then tomorrow we're looking forward to, hopefully if the weather stays away, we're going to go on down to Lamont, Missouri, and run down there with the Warrior region. But, you know, I've been out on the road for the past few years or whatnot, besides the Eagle deal last season. We'd been on the road traveling with the NCRA and hitting some ASCS stuff. And, you know, like I said, the ASCS, they're a great group of guys to race with. The organization's good. The head guys they got, Chuck Z and all those guys, they do a hell of a job promoting races and putting on shows.
This is one of my kind of guys right here. As soon as I walked past that open trailer, I thought, we got to do this guy. I didn't know he was leading the points. But anyway, Stu, glad to see you here tonight. Have some fun, buddy.
Well, glad to be here, and hopefully we can put on a hell of a show for the fans and be up there in Victory Lane at the end of the night.
John Agan from Knoxville, Iowa. John, you run up here at Knoxville all the time, but man, you've pulled down here tonight to run this ASCS race. What do you think is going to happen here?
It'll be a little bit interesting. Looks like there's a lot of water on the racetrack. They're having some issues getting it ran in, so we're making some changes to the car based on what we see right now. And Cameron's always exciting, that's for darn sure. And we'll see what we have here after hot laps and just kind of keep working from there. But no, we're excited to be down here, excited to get racing a little bit and see what we can do down here at Cameron tonight.
How's things going for you up here at Knoxville? I know, man, it's going to be a lot of stiff competition there.
Yeah, it definitely is. We've been really, really fast. We've had some, you know, you always have it. We've had some real bad luck. We broke leading 2 different races, things that, you know, totally out of our control, out of our hands. And then we got one other victory up there, so we should be sitting a lot better than what we are right now. Should have about 3 wins instead of 1. But you know, all in all, it's good. We expect to be up front all the time, and we've had some issues where we haven't been. So it's tough, you know. In a lot of ways, we've been good, but yet we expect to be up front all the time.
Now, I take it you've run here before, because it kind of sounds like you've made a few laps around 36 before.
Yeah, we came down here. I ran a show here a long time ago when I first started racing. And we actually came down here last year for one of the shows, and I hadn't been here in years and haven't hardly ran here much at all. But we were pretty good. We kind of got bid on a restart there late last year, but we were pretty decent. So we're excited to see what we got tonight. We got a different chassis manufacturer this year, and it's definitely different. So we'll have to not necessarily go back to our notes from last year very much, but just see what we can work once we get out there.
Kind of a relearning process when you do that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of different little nuances, I'm sure.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot of them are the same, real similar, but this thing's just enough different that it's definitely off of our baseline where we were before, we would say. But we'll free it up from where we're usually at with Knoxville and let it rock and roll.
Well, man, have some fun out there tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. We haven't had a shower now for at least 45 minutes, so maybe we're going to get her in.
Yeah, I think so. We've been, everybody's been watching their phones, watching the radar on that, and then I think we look pretty good. So we'll see what happens.
Once again, John Agan. Thanks a lot, John.
Thanks, guys.
We sort of got a newbie here tonight, flying Wyatt Burks from Topeka, Kansas. Wyatt, what'd you say this was, your 10th race in a sprint car?
Yeah, it's a new learning experience. I ran micros for 6 years and just got this because my uncle bought it. I'd like to thank him a lot for this. And I'd like to thank Rev Honey, Sleeper Excavating, my mom and dad, my grandma and grandpa, and all of them for coming out and helping.
Have you been on US 36 here before?
Nope, this will be my first time here tonight. It looks high banked and really fast.
I was going to say, I hope you brought your big motor because, man, you're going to need some speed out there tonight. Plus, it looks like it's going to be really tacky if they can get this thing worked in. They've evidently put down a lot of water. And, of course, we've had just a couple small showers. But, man, this is going to be one fast track tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be fast and probably be rough, too. Be wearing you out a lot, but got to go out in there and do it. See what happens.
I was going to say, it's the same for everybody, isn't it? It's going to be the same track for you as all them other guys. Yeah. But any plan on this deal? You like running low? You like running high? Is there any thing that you really like to do when you get out there on the track?
Go wherever nobody else is. Try to pass them all.
Okay, a newbie here tonight, flying Wyatt Burks. Flying, go get him, man.
Thank you. Thanks for interviewing me.
We've hooked up with a guy here now that's just up the road a little ways, up there from Savannah, Missouri, Zach Davis. Yep. Zach, only your third time out this year.
Third time out this year. We've had a little bad luck. We had some motor issues early in the year, and then had some issues with transportation to the track in the last couple of weeks, but we've got that all resolved, and we're ready to put it up front.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What did you run before you were in sprints? Did you come right into sprints?
Actually, we started out in go-karts. My dad and we toured running go-karts for about 10, 15 years. And then I owned a 410 car that Randy Hibbs drove for 2 or 3 years. We got out of the 410, and then I hopped in the 360 in 2009. And I've only ran about 25 nights, but we're getting seat time. We're getting better.
Yeah. I was going to say, why own them cars and let somebody else do that when you spend all that money? Yeah. When you could spend the money, you do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're spending the money, you might as well enjoy tearing it up.
I hear you there. I understand that part of it. Have you raced here at 36 before? And if you have, what do you think we're going to see tonight? I mean, you know what's going on. Yeah. We've been in the rain delay for at least an hour.
Yeah, I'd say we're going to see some. We're obviously going to see some muddy conditions. Track hopefully will widen up maybe by the feature. Heat races are going to be a little snug. Probably not a lot of passing, but you're going to see a lot of horsepower and you're going to see a lot of fast speeds. And hopefully the track doesn't develop any ruts, and we'll just try to enjoy ourselves.
I was going to say, I think the guys with the big motors tonight that have spent the money are going to have a little bit of an advantage because it's definitely going to be tacky.
Yeah, absolutely. The big dogs are going to eat tonight because the guys are spending the money, got the horses under the hood. They're really going to enjoy this. Yeah. So hopefully we're on one of those big dogs up front, and we'll try to enjoy it a little bit. Yeah.
Once again, just from Savannah, Missouri, shoot, can't be what, 25 miles?
Yeah, about 30 minutes. So yeah, this is our hometown track for right now. Yeah.
Zach Davis, have some fun tonight, Zach.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
We have caught up with the voice and what I consider the voice of ASCS. I know there's lots of other people involved in it out there, but Scotty, man, what an entertaining guy to listen to. I mean, when those A-Mains interviews, all that stuff. Scotty Cook, by the way, just love listening to you, man. I don't know if there's a more authoritative authority on sprint car racing than Scotty Cook.
Well, I really appreciate that. And, you look in the mirror at 42 years of age and you don't have any a wedding band or any children or any overhead and anything, and ain't got nothing to show for it all but a wealth of friends, a wealth of memories that I would not trade for anything. And last 25 years of my life have been pretty doggone good. I've had a really good time to meet some great drivers, and it's a blessing to be a part of the racing fraternity, the sprint car racing fraternity, indeed.
Yeah. Scotty, how did you get started in this?
Well, right down the way there is a red 86 car. Back in 1978, was piloted by Steve Kinzer. That race car back in the day was owned by the Winged Outlaw Warriors founder Archie Simpson, a gentleman out of Sedalia, Missouri named Larry McCown, and then the current owner of the 86 car, driven by Kyle Bellum, Jerry and Jeff Smith. They are from my hometown in Columbia, Missouri. Jerry's brother was my grandma's brother-in-law. So in a nutshell, By the time I was 4 or 5 years old, I was loaded up in an old Oldsmobile Delta 88, and like clockwork and like religion, every Saturday about noon, we'd leave for the Marion County Fairgrounds in Knoxville, Iowa. We'd roll back into town in Columbia about 4 in the morning, just long enough to catch a nap, and we knew on Sunday when the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches were cooking for Grandma, it's time to get up and eat and play for a while and then go to the Saline County Speedway in Marshall, Missouri every Sunday night. And so from there, it just spawned out. The Capitol Speedway, Holt Summit, Missouri, now gone. Pretty much my home track. Grew up there. Had the blessing of being that was the first place I ever had a microphone put in my hand, and I was the last public address announcer that ever was at the Capitol Speedway. So that was kind of ironic in a sense to get the media side of it all kicked off. So I started going with them guys from the time I was old enough to go, and then started skipping class in high school so we could load up on a Friday afternoon and get to Jacksonville, Illinois. So it all stemmed, and I blame it all on these guys over here in the red 86 car, Jerry Smith. That's a long time ago, but again, I wouldn't trade any of it for anything.
Man, you're younger than I am, but you got way more experience in the sprint car side of it than I do. But all I can say is it just, like I say, kind of blends in with the stories and the history and the knowledge that you have about sprint car racing, because that's what I think makes it so entertaining, is when you've got somebody that's been around it, involved in it, and knows about it and can tell you all them little things about people.
Well, you know, indeed, I agree. That does make it unique on the media end of it, whether it be the public address or whether it's coming through an interview or whatnot. But it's kind of ironic because I get more than a 20-25 car count with names, numbers, cars, and stars that I'm not so quite familiar enough with. It's a bit taxing on the old brain, and I kind of use the filing system as best I can, but. Fortunately, around here in central Missouri with the Warrior region, I've been with them guys from its inception, and in my travels the last 7 or 8 years, tonight being a ASCS Midwest Warrior co-sanctioned event, I've gotten to know a lot of these people from the Nebraska area and all over the United States. So, you just apply the old brain as best you can. When you sign in and I've always said it's like from the time you sign in to get your armband to the time you leave, it's a complete just a flurry. Yeah, so it's almost overload for me, but somehow we manage through it all the time. So
yeah. Well, Scotty, we'll be looking forward to listening to your call later on. Like I say, just do a great job at it, and it's been my privilege. I know I've worked with you one time on a little deal we did down south there, but looking forward to it later on.
Well, it's my pleasure, and it's very good to see you, and keep up the good work. I like your work that you do.
Thank you a lot.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Up in row number 1, Jay Russell and Stu Snyder. In row 2, Greg Clemens and J.D. Black. In row number 3, rounding out the field, Austin Allenbaugh and Miranda Arnold. RPMs come up. Lee Boyle looks them over, and there's the green flag. Let's go racing. Sutherland leads him down into turn number 1. He'll lead him down the backstretch. Gage Door settles into that second spot. Jay Russell is running third. Stu Snyder in that fourth spot. Drivers competing for their finishing positions as well as passing points. They receive extra points for every car they may pass. Top 16 cars in passing points directly into that A main event. Top 8 will redraw for the first 8 starting positions, and this one's been all Forrest Sutherland. Gage Door right in that second spot. Jay Russell, Stu Snyder, J.D. Black, Miranda Arnold, Austin Allenbaugh, and Greg Clemens. 3 laps down, Sutherland brings it off corner number 4. He'll encounter the lap machine of Greg Clemens in turns 1 and 2. Clemens mid-track. Sutherland makes the pass, and then it's a pass for the second spot. Jay Russell. Russell takes the measure of Gage Door, heading up into turn number 3, and it's the Spirit of 76, Jay Russell, moving up into that second spot. Russell now trying to run down your leader. And it's trouble for J.D. Black. J.D. Black taking car number 3D down to the pit area. Sutherland, your leader. Russell in the second spot. Gage Door is third. Stu Snyder rounding out the top 4. So this one, car number 85, Forrest Sutherland. White flag is out, 1/3 of a mile to go for your leader. Forrest Sutherland, your leader. Jay Russell riding in that second spot. Gage Dorr is third. Checkered flag is out. Give him a round of applause from Cherryville, Kansas. Car number 85, Forrest Sutherland takes the win. Jay Russell comes home in the number 2 spot. Then it's Gage Dorr in car number 17. Stu Snyder in the 23S. Miranda Arnold, Austin Allenbaugh, and Greg Clemens. So give him a round of applause from Cherryville, Kansas. Car number 85, Forrest Sutherland takes the win.
Starting on the front row pole, the young man coming all the way over from the country of Australia, Adelaide, Australia to be exact. He is the driver of the McCarty Motorsports number 9M. It's Chad Eli. Chad Eli starting on the pole. Certified transmissions. Yes. Outside, you'll keep your eye on him. Certified transmission, home pride, number 53, it's the gas man, Jack Dover. The caution light will go out this time by. And row number 2 on the inside, he is the driver of the Pure Romance 2A. Coming over from Savannah, Missouri, it's Randy Hibbs. Lone Jack, Missouri's Cody Baker. In the Ted Hall Racing, number 38, outside of row number 2. Row number 3 on the inside, coming over from Topeka, Kansas, it's the 11W of Wyatt Burks. The Kyle Bellum, 86, owned by Jerry and Jeff Smith. The Tiger Towing, 86 of Kyle Bellum, up from Nixa, Missouri. And all the way down from Lincoln, Nebraska, Jason Danley in the Cubbies Convenience, number 82. Your cars. Green flag in the air, heat race number 2 underway. The gas man, Jack Dover, big run to turn 1 and 2. Give Dover the lead down the back straightaway, about a 10-car length lead over Chad Eli. Lap number 1 complete. Dover, your leader. Eli second. Hibbs running third. Cody Baker running into fourth. Look out! Trouble in turns 1 and 2. Wyatt Burks getting just a bit out of shape. We stay green flag racing. Jack Dover opening up the lead, about a full straightaway lead down the back straightaway. 11.76, blistering the US 36 Raceway. Lap number 3 right now by the gas man, Jack Dover, working the top of the groove down the back straightaway as he enters turn 3. Dover now extending the lead over Eli. So it's Dover, Eli, Randy Hibbs, Cody Baker, and Kid Kyle Bellum, KB, rounding out your top 5. Halfway home, working on halfway home. The racetrack getting quicker. Jack Dover an 11.65. The speeds are going up, the times are going down. Looking to go green, white checker. White flag will wave next time by for the gas man, Jack Dover. Dover smooth sailing into turn 3 and out of turn 4 under the white flag one more time around. Your leader will set sail down the back straightaway into 3 and out of turn 4. The gas man, Jack Dover, picking up heat race number 2. Once again, Osborne, Missouri, he can see you. Give him a big wave and a big round of applause. Coming down from Lincoln, Nebraska, driver that's certified transmissions, home pride 53, it's the gas man, Jack Dover. Dover taking a win, Chad Eli finishing second, Randy Hibbs third, Cody Baker finishing in the 4th spot, Kid Kyle Bellum in the Jerry and Jeff Smith, number 86, rounding out your top 5.
He's one tough customer out of the Oklahoma Sooner region, making the trip up to race with us here at US 36 Speedway. Always a tough competitor, and he'll start this one from the pole. Jake Martins, Zach Davis, bringing the field down into turn number 3. Reach down, don't let that seat belt get a little bit too loose. They're going to stand on the gas. Lee Spicer looking them over. There's the green flag. Let's go racing. This time it's Jake Martins getting the jump, and he dives to the high side of the racetrack. He'll lead him down the backstretch. Jordan Boston with a big move, challenging for that second spot. Slider coming up in 3 and 4. It's Jake Martins, Jordan Boston, Zach Davis, John Hagan, Jonathan Cornell. That's the running order as the field completes lap number 1. Martin stretching his legs out now, increasing that lead as he completes lap number 2. Jordan, the Bullet Boston, giving chase in the Bowers Motorsports car number 4. I think I called that a Maxim chassis. Jordan used to race a Maxim. He is in a Chennai flex right chassis. And that car number 4 already picked up an A-feature win with the new combination. Jake Martin's your leader, Jordan Boston, John Hagan, Zach Davis, Jonathan Cornell, John Corbin, and Haley Arnold. That's your running order. 4 complete, 4 to go for Jake Martin's. Boston trying to close that gap now in car number 4. Jordan Boston standing on the gas, and he is closing ground on your leader, Jake Martin's. 6 complete, it's 2 to go. Jake Martin's, Jordan Boston. Boston riding the cushion high and hard through turns 1 and 2. It'll be the white flag for Jake Martin's, Jordan Boston, John Hagan. That's your top 3. Zach Davis settles into that 4th spot. Jonathan Cornell is 5th, but here he comes from Fairview, Oklahoma in the Womack Machine Supply. Car number 48, Jake Martin's takes the win. Jordan Boston coming home in that 2nd spot. John Hagan is 3rd. And on the final lap, Jonathan Cornell picking up those all-important passing points, making the pass on Zach Davis for 4th. Rounding out the field, John Corbin and Haley Arnold.
As we looked at the racetrack and we see the surface, and we speculated with the interview of the guys down there, and there you see, wave your hats, your flags, your hands, give them a big round of applause, Osborne, Missouri. Your Speedway Motors ASCS Midwest and Warrior competitors for tonight's Big Bud Shootout, a main event here at the Osborne US 36 Raceway.
And the rockets' red glare, the bombs are bursting in air,
That's
and a
right.
1 and a 2.
That's right, that's right. So, this time by, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor if you're not, on behalf of Mr. Mike Franks, the fine folks of the Budweiser distributor in St. Joe, Missouri, get to your feet. This time by, your Speedway Motors ASCS Midwest and Warrior regions getting ready to put on a show for you tonight here in Osborne.
The best of the Midwestern Warrior regions, 3 abreast down the front stretch. And the undefeated, undisputed king of beers, Budweiser, bringing you the Bud Shootout right here at US 36 Raceway on a beautiful night for racing right here in Osborne, Missouri.
An interesting storyline, Mr. Stan Caesar, before this thing flags off. You've got Adelaide, Australia's Chad Eli behind the wheel of the McCarty Motorsports 9M, still seeking his first Warrior win, and young Jonathan Cornell, a multi-time winner with the Warrior Series, starting outside of row number 1. It'll be a drag race into turn number 1, and I will say, more than likely, whoever wins that drag race on the start has a great shot of winning this race, and we'll see all these Midwest competitors mixing it up as well. It's going to be a great show.
Well, field rolls slowly down the backstretch. Caution lights are out around the speedway. Field in the hands of Lee Spicer, Chad Ely, Jonathan Cornell, Jake Martins, the gas man, Jack Dover. RPMs come up. Feel the thunder! There's the green flag, and let's go racing! Cornell takes the field down into turns 1 and 2. Jonathan Cornell, your leader. Jack Dover now dives up into that 2nd spot. Fast line around the rim. Jay Russell slides up and into that 4th spot around Martins. It's Jonathan Cornell, Jack Dover, Chad Ely, Jay Russell, Jake Martins. We got trouble in turn number 4. Looks like the 4J of John Corbin. Corbin rolls to a stop up against the front stretch wall, and that brings out the caution. 1 lap officially complete in tonight's 25-lap ASCS Midwest Warrior Region A main event.
Well, I'm not so sure, Stan. It appears as though young John Corbin from Kansas City, Missouri, all alone. We mentioned the racing surface very locked down, the opposite of slick, and it makes these race cars very tight. John bobbled to the top side coming off of turn number 4, and there you see what ensued. Upside down in turn number 4, red flag flies, lap number 1 in the 11th position. The 86 of Kyle Bellum buried back into the field. Some more talented drivers, some very, very fast cars. Your current Midwest point leader, Stu Snyder, back there in 14th. You want to keep your eye on Austin Allenball right behind him, as well as Lone Jack, Missouri's Cody Baker in the 38. You want to keep your eye on those cars, and we'll be looking for them to be going forward through the field.
Caution lights are out. They'll be going green next time. Right, 1 lap officially complete in this one. And your Warrior Region points leader from Sedalia, Missouri, Jonathan Cornell, on the point. He's got the gas man, your defending Midwest champion, Jack Dover, riding back in that 2nd spot. Lee Boy looks him over, and there's the green flag. We're back to racing action. Cornell stands on the gas and takes it hard into turn number 1. Jonathan Cornell, Jack Dover, look out! Jake Martin's almost bicycles in turn 1 and 2. Brings it back down on all 4 wheels. It's Cornell, Dover, Ely, Russell, Boston, Arnold, Sutherland, and Egan. That's your running order. Leaders about to encounter the lap machine of Greg Clemens. 2 laps complete, now 3 complete. Jonathan Cornell, Jack Dover giving chase.
So right now, Jonathan Cornell, we've got one off the pace on the front straightaway. Chad Eli off the pace will exit to the deep pit, a battle for the lead, turn 3. Jonathan Cornell to the top side. Here comes the gas man, Jack Dover, side wheel to wheel for the top spot. It's Cornell getting by the lapper of J.D. Black. Now Dover having trouble getting by. So the battle's shaping up. Your top 2 runners running into some heavy lap traffic, and here comes Jay Russell. 3 cars for the top spot tonight at the Bud Shootout. Cornell now trying to get by the 6 of Haley Arnold, and he does, as well as Clemens, and Dover has closed in on the bumper. Jay Russell, 1, 2, 3, they go into turn number 3.
It's a 3-car dance as they come off corner number 4. Jonathan Cornell, Jack Dover, and Jay Russell. Dover takes a look to the inside. They're wheel-to-wheel down the backstretch. Cornell pulls it out. Once again, lap traffic. Zach Davis slides to the high side. Here comes Dover. They're wheel-to-wheel. They touch going into turn number 1. Still, Jonathan Cornell, your leader. Jack Dover, Jay Russell. 3-car battle. Less than 3 car lengths separating first and second and third. Once again, heavy lap traffic. Cody Baker, Wyatt Burks right in front of your leaders. Jonathan Cornell, Jack Dover, Jay Russell, 1, 2, and 3. 10 laps now, 11 laps complete. Dover right on the rear bumper, peeks inside. Jack Dover makes him trouble on the backstretch, up and over. Stu Snyder, car number 23S, gets up and over.
Jordan Boston.
Possible contact.
Somebody just hit him. Randy Hibbs just made contact with Stu. I hope he's all right. He just creamed him.
Trouble on the backstretch.
Yeah, big, ugly incident on the back straightaway. I don't know what got the 20
Gage Door, 17.
Stu Snyder. I don't know what caused him to get upside down, but Gage Door involved as well in this orange 17 car. He sits on the back straightaway facing us. And then, unfortunate for the Pure Romance 2A of Randy Hibbs, after Stewart had come to arrest Gage Door, Randy Hibbs in the black Pure Romance 2A, making heavy impact to the left front of Waverly, Missouri, Stuart Snyder. So a tough break. Stan Cesar for your Midwest ASCS point leader.
Yeah, I just barely saw the tail end of that. When we were watching that battle for the lead, Jack Dover had just ducked inside Cornell down in turns 1 and 2, and they were going to race wheel-to-wheel down that backstretch. And as we scanned over mid-backstretch, we saw the car of Snyder, looks like almost doing a reverse flip. It spun around and then got up over, bounced off of those big right rear tire. But looks like the safety crew, as you said, once again right on the scene. And there was contact with that car. Looks like he is up and out of the car. Stu Snyder is out of the car and walking around looking at damage to that front end. Give him a round of applause. Stu Snyder from Waverly, Nebraska. So here we go. Jonathan Cornell, Jack Dover, Jay Russell. Then
is a lap down.
Car number 6, 1 lap down. That's Haley Arnold. Then in the 4th spot, it's the 4 of Jordan Boston. The 5th spot, the 4A of John Egan. Looks like we're just about ready to go green. Caution lights are out. Starter Lee Boy Spicer looks them over, green flag in hand. They stand on the gas, and we're back to racing action.
As Jonathan Cornell will lead your field, about a 5-car length lead down the back straightaway. He got a good-looking start over the gas man, Jack Dover. Then about another 5-car lengths back to Elwood, Kansas, Jay Russell. Here comes Jordan Boston riding the top side.
Boston up around the rim through turns 1 and 2, starting to close the gap now on Jay Russell. About 4 or 5 car lengths separating 1st through 4th in between each position. Jonathan Cornell about halfway around to once again encountering that heavy lap traffic. Jack Dover giving chase. Jay Russell is 3rd. Jordan the Bullet Boston
just shy of halfway home, working lap number 14, or just over halfway home, number 14 next time by, and the action will heat up as Jonathan Cornell will get into lap traffic. Can the gas man run him down?
Well, I don't know what adjustments they made during that red flag, but it looks like Cornell with just a bit of an advantage on Dover now. Here comes the lap traffic, and here comes Dover once again, down around that low side in turns 1 and 2.
Jack Dover closing the margin for the lead. Both drivers right off the hub of turn number 4. We've got a battle for the lead exiting turn number 2.
Boy, check out the brake rotors on the rear of that car. Was glowing bright red last time around. All over the brakes trying to keep that car. Here we are, lap traffic, Cornell, Dover.
And as we promised, the battle heating up as they get into lap traffic, wheel to wheel for the top spot. Cornell chops him 1-2 as they go out of 4.
Dover looked inside, can't make the pass. Still, 2 car lengths separating your leaders. Look like it's trouble for the 5M. That's Miranda Arnold, and it's once again 1 car length separating first and second. Jonathan Cornell, Jack Dover. Dover now less than a car length. Takes a look inside. Jack Dover slider in turn number 2. There's a new leader. Here comes Cornell. Back up the inside. Dover slams the door as they come in turn 3.
We got a new leader. Turn 4, the gas man. Jack Dover takes the top spot away as Cornell now back on the gas, gets back to the rear bumper. Turn 3 for the lead.
Oh, we got yellow gauge door over in turn number 4. Caution is out. That will negate the pass that just took place coming off turn number 4. Cody Baker heading to the pits in car number 38. So the new leader, car number 53, the gas man, Jack Dover. Caution lights are out. Jack Dover brings him slowly through turns 3 and 4. Roush Yates forward power. He stands on the gas. Oh, and it looks like Cornell jumped the cushion, but he brings it back down. Does a big wheelie right at the start-finish line. Jack Dover, Jonathan Cornell, Jordan Boston, John Hagan now up to that 4th spot in car number 4A.
As Dover's gotten away about a 5-car length lead, keep your eye on Jordan Boston. Will he be able to reel in the Kiowa Line Builder 28? We shall see. Just a handful of laps remaining. So Dover right now looking to go green, white, checker next time by. Will be working lap number 23. About a full straightaway lead now for the gas man, Jack Dover.
Laps 23 complete, 2 to go. It's Dover, Cornell, Boston, Hagan, Bellum, Sutherland, Martins, Danley. White flag is out. 1 to go for the gas man, Jack Dover. Stands on that Ford horsepower through turns 3 and 4 the final time. Give it to the gas man, Jack Dover, with his 2nd straight win here at the US 36 Raceway in Osborne, Missouri. A good run for Jonathan Cornell coming home in that 2nd spot. Jordan, the Bullet Boston, finishing in 3rd. John Hagan is 4th. And unofficially the 86 of Kyle Bellum bringing that car home.
The winner of the ASCS Midwest Warrior Region race here at US 36 tonight, Jack Dover. Jack, we talked a little bit earlier. Did the track go where you wanted it to? Evidently it did. You won.
Yeah, when we went up there for the $500 prize for the heat races up there in the interviews, I said it was going to widen out a little more, which it did. And it didn't build a cushion like I thought it was going to, but it got pretty racy. I didn't think it was going to get racy. You know, the bottom actually came out. I didn't think the bottom was going to come in. I thought it was going to stay kind of wet down there. And then there about 10 laps to go, the bottom started coming in real nice.
You know, one thing I noticed was some of the moves that Cornell was making through the traffic. I mean, he was splitting cars and you know, making some real drastic moves in there. And it looked to me like you were kind of using a little patience and backing off just a little bit and waiting to see whether or not he was going to get through there before you did.
Yeah, I mean, in his defense, when you're out in the lead like that, you got to be going 120%. I mean, there's no lifting because you don't know where 2nd place is behind you. I've been in that situation before. And when you're second place in that spot is the best spot to be. You don't want to be first because you never know when you're going to get passed by 2nd place. It actually happened to me here when me and Brad Loyette raced. He beat me, but because I got in lap traffic, I wasn't racing that hard. But like you said, he was putting on some good moves, and I was just being patient. I kept telling myself to be patient because I knew we were going to be able to get him through lap traffic. I knew that before the A main even pushed off. And it's always fun racing against Jonathan because he always gives it hell. And and I knew he was going to be tough tonight. But I wasn't putting anything down on this Roush. This Roush and this Eagle chassis was working real good, and I got a good crew tonight. Will and Brody and my parents and Lydia, my girlfriend, and just everybody that helped tonight. It's just awesome.
You say it looked like the car, just anywhere you wanted to go, it was working.
Yeah, I mean, it was tight there in the beginning. I kind of felt the right rear was on the right rear tire was a little low, and I asked these guys on one of those reds. They came up to the fence. I said, "Is that right rear low?" And they said no. And then on that open red, I had them check it, and it was a pound low. So we fixed that problem, and then we adjusted the frame a little, and that made a huge difference. It freed the car up a lot, so I was able to get around the first place of Jonathan Cornell.
I was going to say, man, once that 5 lap started, you were see you later. Once again, the winner here tonight, Jack Dover. Way to go, Jack.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Second place finisher here tonight for the ASCS Midwest Warrior Division at US 36 Speedway, Jonathan Cornell. Jonathan, man, it looked like you had it there almost.
You know, I wish. You know, we had a great starting spot, and we just kept getting into lap traffic real fast, and 53 car was just kind of breathing down our neck, and which, you know, he usually does. He's a really fast guy, and he's been around this track a lot, and he's won this race quite a bit. So we had the upper edge starting there, and sometimes when you're in second, it's more of an advantage. You know, you get to see where the leader's going, and I'd go in on the lap cars and have to kind of make a hole, and he'd follow right through. So I was more or less racing the lap cars, and he was kind of racing me. But Jack's a good driver, and he could read what I was doing. I just the line I was running slowly started going away, and when I tried making a different line for myself, it just wasn't there, and he was going in real low and sliding up, and that seemed to be the ticket at the end. So it was just one of those things, wrong lane choice by my part at the end, and then you know, just smart lane choice by him. Did the track pretty much go the way you thought it would go? Like you say, you had the winning line there for a while, but then evidently it just went away. Yeah, you know, it's tough to judge because we had all that rain here earlier, so it was super heavy, one groove, and the more cars got on there, the slicker it got, but there were still some patches where it was real tacky, so we don't want to be too tight and be pushing through the tacky stuff, and we didn't want to be too free through the loose stuff. So for my crew guys, you know, it's really hard to judge that stuff, and they had an awesome car, and like I said, I just made a couple of mistakes towards the end, and just a bummer leading what was the first 20 laps and getting past the 5 to go. But I think it would have helped us a little bit without all those cautions and maybe some of those red flags. I really didn't need those. Once again, second place finisher here tonight for the ASCS here at US 36. I'll get it straight. Jonathan Cornell, congratulations anyway on second place. Yeah, we have 2 more races this weekend, so hopefully we can get this Kiowa Line Builders, VKCC Motorsports, Starline, Impact Science Car, Victory Lane tomorrow or Sunday. Yeah. I could never say that. Thank you. Third place finisher here tonight for the ASCS at US 36, Jordan Boston. Jordan, start 8th. Got up to 3rd. Man, you know, the way this track started out here tonight, and I think even during the A-main, that's a good move.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely went forward all night. I'm happy. We kind of been struggling this year, and I mean, to come down here, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite tracks, so to come down here and, I mean, be fast with these guys and, I mean, finish decent like we did, I mean, I'm happy, so. Yeah.
I was just talking to one of your crew members there a while ago, and I think last time I seen you down here, you were hung up in the fence down here in 4, if I remember right.
Yeah, we didn't do too well back here last time, but like I said, I'm happy with this, and I mean, I'm happy we're going forward.
Going to head down to LA tomorrow night, or going home?
We'll probably end up going home. Ego races tomorrow. We're kind of thinking about going there maybe. So I mean, we'll just kind of see. You got to talk to the boss and see what he says. Yeah. So hopefully we can do some racing.
Yeah. Once again, third place finisher tonight for the ASCS at US 36, Jordan Boston. Jordan, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.